I think the German residential market is one of the hottest at the moment in the world. In Germany, we have a huge lack of residential apartments. People are not finding the apartment, especially in the metropolitan regions of the top 7, like in Berlin. Find an apartment in Berlin is almost impossible. So what we do is we have two routes. On the one hand, we construct small micro-living apartments with a big part of amenities that people feel home, like to come home and have a first entrance into a residential market like in Berlin before they start to search a long-term apartment. So we are sort of a buffer. On the other hand, we try to invest into projects which do not have any amenities, also no furniture, to allow local people to find an apartment on the long term for lower rents. Because we need to ask for rents of 20 to 25 euros per square meter to cover the construction costs. They are still high, but they're stabilized. We need a bigger lot size for a project to have a sort of a scaling effect that helps us to cover the costs and to use modular construction and prefab construction. And this is a way how we try to solve the situation. The main driver in Europe is the capital, the missing capital. So we see lots of developers who have very good ideas, very nice plots, but not the capital to get the construction done. And this is the part where we start helping by capital injections. We have a global presence of Greystar. We are managing 1 million apartments worldwide. So we know how to collect equity and to place investors and help them to get invested into Germany. We know how to produce the reporting they are expecting as an institutional investor. So we are sort of a filter from institutional capital to local presence and local projects. Greystar is originally a property manager for residential apartments. We know exactly what they need. So we always have at least 2 full-time employees in the asset, a technical asset manager and a community manager. And from their experience, we know how apartments should ideally look like, and this is what we transform into developments. So if we take a look on a plot, we first check the layouts, because normally they are too big, the apartments. They were planned for build to sell and not for build to rent. So we optimize them, we reduce the square meters, we make more units in one asset than originally planned. And then it's much easier with 20% more tenants to compensate the high construction costs that we have. We also think about PBSA for students, really made for students. The student has another need. They don't need 30, 40 square meters in their apartment. They need it as cheap as possible, but also as convenient as possible. So for students, we think about 20 square meters for an apartment. If we want to let apartments to a businessman who is in Berlin, for example, just for 6 months for a project, he would love to have a little bit more. So for them, we construct 30 to 40 square meters per unit. So it depends a little bit on the need, and for a specified target group, we do the planning and the realization and also the management, which is different.